We've been here for 2 months now, and every day that we're here, we actually tell each other how grateful we are and how happy we are, and we feel like we just hit the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow by moving here. Every day we're discovering new things, new restaurants, new foods, new coffee shops, new hikes, new things to explore, and it's just been so awesome. Like really every day we tell each other, we're like, this is so great, like this is such a good decision to move here.
He thinks so too, although it doesn't look like it. Some of you already guessed it correctly in the previous video where we said we left Ecuador. We also had a giveaway going, so congrats again to the winner of the giveaway. And we now live in Las Vegas, Nevada.
The first thing that usually comes to people's mind when they think of Vegas is, of course, the casinos and the parties and the drinking and the craziness. And that's exactly why we did not move to Vegas.
Wait, what?
It's for the cocaine and strippers, duh. But actually, there's a lot more to it than that. It started maybe a few years ago even. We hosted, I would say, this area. When we hosted one of our very first yoga retreats in Joshua Tree National Park. That was really our first time together in a very quiet, still desert. Well, I take that back, we were actually in the Sahara together also, and that was very quiet. But at least in the States, that was our first time in a very quiet desert. During that time at the retreat, at night, after everyone would already go to sleep, we stood outside the RV and it was dead silent. And we just looked at each other and we're like, we need to live in the desert someday. Like, this feels so good for us. And then as we started to explore more, of course, we quit our jobs a few years ago, as you've seen on our channel, and we traveled around a lot, visited many countries, and last year, Flo had a really strong vision during one of our medicine ceremonies down in Ecuador, where he kind of asked the universe where we should be living and where we should end up and root down. And from that, he received a lot of messages that the desert is the place, and we wanted to also explore something outside of California. So we ended up settling on Las Vegas.
So if you're now thinking, quiet and desert, Las Vegas is not quiet at all. Well, on the strip in the center, it might not be very quiet, but there is so much to offer, so much to do, to see, so much variety.
That sounded like an elephant.
The strip in Las Vegas is only a very small part, so yes, many people think of that when they think of Las Vegas, but it has so much to offer, so many national parks, so many different neighborhoods. We live at the edge of Las Vegas, very close to where the national park begins, and it's already surrounded by mountains, the whole Las Vegas Valley. We live close to the mountains, and you could basically, when you can, basically walk from the house into the park and then go explore endless trails and enjoy endless silence. We also really like the desert climate, so we like the hot summers where it's really warm, and also during the day really warm, and then it cools down at night, and it also cools down a lot in the winters.
Let's go enjoy some rain. What? There's like one dark cloud right above us, and the rest is like blue skies. What?
But overall, this is just a very nice place for us to be in and to enjoy. And we already did so many trips, and there's more vlogs of that kind of stuff coming. So we're excited to be more out with the camera, with Ilo. Yeah, and go explore. And he's patiently sitting right next to us. You can't see him at the moment, but he's trying to be so patient. And we're also so patient with him because doing this 5-minute video, it takes like 1 hour. Wo ist der Ilo? Oh, da! Und jetzt ist weg.
I would say that the national parks is really one of the main reasons that we ended up being here, so that we can be so close to Mother Nature and really enjoy one of the best things about America, which is the national parks.
If you just drive for 2 hours radius around Las Vegas, you can hit so many national parks. It's really, there's so much, and so we explored them a lot when we lived in California. And kind of Las Vegas is in the center of all the national parks that we really enjoy. There's Death Valley, you drive a bit further, it's Lake Tahoe, there's Mount Charleston, Red Rock Canyon, Valley of Fire. You go a bit further, there's Zion, Grand Canyon. You go south to Sedona into Arizona. There's really, you're surrounded by all this goodness. At least for us, we're like in the center of all the things we really enjoy, all the national parks we really enjoy. And so we also make sure that we go explore them a lot.
Also, the Las Vegas airport is one of the cheapest airports to fly in and out of in the US. And since we're still going to be continuing traveling and teaching retreats and doing our teacher trainings and visiting family and friends, we're of course going to be traveling as well. So being able to have a hub of a cheap airport is very convenient. And overall, just the cost of living here is way different than it was when we were living in the Silicon Valley in California.
Yeah.
So now that we're starting our family and we also want to ground down more and build more of our Breathe and Flow organization, overall it's just more affordable to live here. And we are also much closer to my family. They are all in Montana, except for my oldest brother who lives in Chicago. So now we're also very close to some family, maybe even farther away from Flo's family, but closer to one of our families at least.
Ilo is quite active. So the one vlog where we talk about silence in a quiet desert, Ilo is going off. He's like, silence. I show you guys what silence is. So the last few months, we took the time to, of course, arrive, settle in, set everything up. The home was completely empty, besides a fridge, a washer and a dryer, which was amazing already that this was provided. And then we had to set up everything. You know, we lived in the backpack for 3 years. And before that in an RV, so you really have to get a small spoon, a glass,
a towel,
a bowl,
a garbage can.
Let's get some toothpaste that we had. Okay, let's get some soap and things like this. You know, plants. So you're basically starting fresh your whole life, just like when you got out of college and now you have a job. And
or you moved out of your parents' house, maybe.
Or that. So kind of starting from zero, and so it was a lot of setting up furniture every day and getting things, driving around.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed it a lot, but it took a lot longer, I think, than we thought it would. It is still not fully done. I think we're basically at like 99% or something like this.
It also took us a little bit longer to get settled in because we wanted to find a lot of the things to furnish the home with that were secondhand. So we spent a lot of time thrift shopping and using different apps and marketplaces to actually find some really incredible things secondhand.
Bre was doing such a good job. I think she was setting up one piece of furniture every day for like a month. She was doing a lot of work for the house because she has this vision of the colors and like everything and what she had in mind. So I just let her do all the things. I got all the tech stuff, all the lights and all the equipment we wanted to get to improve our quality and set up the filming space, the office. Yeah, the office. Yes. And Ilo has a really nice room. At some point we might do a tour of the house. We had this whole vision of how to set it up. It's all themed around the moon, perfectly fitting for Ilo. Very simple colors and very clean. Really like it. As you know, it's been sometimes a struggle to find Airbnbs while traveling or spaces that are quiet to film. And then when we had a space, then maybe that day was random gardening work or construction for several days. So all the things you experience while you travel, this is why traveling is so good. It's teaching you so much, and especially teaching you patience and to adaptability so that you are really quick to adapt to new situations. And so that we learned a lot over the last years. And right now it's just super nice to not have to do that and not have to adapt every day, and also to drive the work forward in a healthy balance that's also sustainable long term. So thank you for watching this kind of scattered vlog and with many interruptions and cuts. We wanted to let you know that we live in Las Vegas now, and this is where we're settled now for good. We have no plans to leave. So most of the times, most of the classes now, most of the videos and all of it will come from the Breathe and Flow headquarters, currently in Las Vegas.
We're really excited to show some maybe new and different parts of Vegas that you're not familiar with and that you didn't know existed. And even for us too, we're discovering new things. And it's such a fun experience to be in a place and be rooted and grounded, but also get to like go out for day trips and see some cool stuff.
Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for practicing with us, for supporting this little family. And most importantly, to support yourself and to show up for yourself every day on the mat. Thank you for doing the practices. We know the path is not easy, but you're on it, you're walking it, and hopefully it helps you dive deeper into life and live a more fulfilled life with more peace and love. And also joy, of course. You need to enjoy the journey.
We know the path is not always easy, and we know showing up every day is also can be challenging. So we're really, really proud of you for taking the time to invest in your health and your wellness and your overall being. If you ever feel like you're alone on this path, or you feel like nobody understands you, or that you're kind of all alone traveling through the universe on this giant rock, then it's good to remember and keep in mind that we have almost 50,000 people every day that are practicing with us here on our Breathe and Flow YouTube channel. So if you ever feel like you're alone again, when you're on your mat, or when you're on this path, or when you're journaling or reading or whatever it is that you're doing,
Getting up at 5 a.m.
yeah, you're not alone. There's a huge community here. Until then, we are sending you lots of love, lots of gratitude, and we are excited to share with you this next chapter of our lives.
Have a good one. See you in the next one, guys. Peace.
Peace. Bye, Papa. Oh. Thanks. Oh, thanks. Nice.